Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the strong, the stupendous, the exceptionally generous Dr. Yukon SuckIt. Yes, thank you, Dr. Yukon SuckIt. Tell your mama. So I am broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I am bringing you a deck that is currently referred to as Rakdos Sac. And this calls back to the olden days, which we don't see anymore. Before the last release, maybe even, I don't know how long it's been since we've seen a good Rakdos Sac deck. And it's all about basically grabbing your opponent's creatures and sacrificing them, usually after attacking them with their own creatures. And then you do the big sacrifice, which then usually does something else. Like whenever one of your dudes dies, somebody else's dies. So therefore, you've now killed two of their creatures, or maybe you're going to fling it at their face. Lots of great things you could do when you sacrifice your own, this is in air quotes, your own creatures. So yeah, that's super fun. So I went out and I found a deck which was called Rakdos Sac, or I think it was June Sac, or whatever. But I played it and it had some serious problems. So then I tweaked it. Played it, serious problems. Tweaked it, played it, serious problems. Ad infinitum for about 3 hours until we ended up with this guy here. And this guy's done fairly well. Now, let's check him out. Let's see what's in it. And we will take it out and see how well it does. So at the low end, we've got Bloodchief's Thirst. I tend to favor this deck because I think that there's a lot of stuff out there that is low mana value. Stuff that costs 1 or 2 and then tends to grow over time. Bloodchief's Thirst will take them out for 1 mana. You got the ability to pay 4 to take out any target creature or planeswalker. Great. I can afford it later on. We have the Dockside Chef. And you can easily see that he's got ghost hands that are stealing things, which looks like eyeballs or whatever out of there. And but when you look at it in small version, it kind of looks like he's got ghostly spider legs sticking out of his back. In this case, he costs you 1. He's a 1/2, so he's got a little bit of defensive power there. But he is part of the sacrifice engine, where for 2 mana you can sacrifice an artifact or creature to draw a card. So this guy will help you sacrifice things. There's 3 of them in there. We got the Shambling Ghast. I've started calling this one the Treasure Troll. She comes out. She's a 1/1 for 1. Keep attacking with her. When she dies, target creature gets -1/-1 till the end of the turn. Or you can create a treasure token out of that. So that's all good stuff. Ghoulish Procession. So I ended up putting this one in here because I found that sometimes I needed just some bodies to sacrifice. You're sitting there and it's just like, man, I got nothing. I don't have any creatures. As long as some creature can be killed, yours or somebody else's, this will create an additional 2/2 black zombie token with Decayed, which you can attack with it, or you can sacrifice it to like the Dockside Chef to allow you to get another card or whatever it is you do with sacrificing stuff. I have in here a Body Dropper. So, I had, the dwarf guy in here at some point. I took him out, put in the Body Dropper because I like the idea that, well, number one, I'm playing a Rakdos deck and this is a Rakdos card. I always feel like there should be some additional juice that comes out of playing a dual color card. But this guy is a 2/2 for 2. And then whenever you sacrifice another creature, which I'm planning on doing a lot, you put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. So he will start to buff up. And then you can pay 2 to sacrifice another creature, which is how much it costs to sacrifice things around here. Body Dropper gains menace until the end of turn. So, you could grab your opponent's creature, and then you can sacrifice that dude or whatever, at which point then you got menace and another +1 counter that you go in with. Hopefully he's only got 1 guy or less left, so they can't block it. This guy will pump and help you with that whole sacrifice engine. We got the Meathook Massacre. So it's in here as a board wipe, but with all of the sacrificing going on, we really expect that we're going to make use of that. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses life. So every time you sacrifice something, and it should be a lot, they should take a point of damage. So that's where we just get this thing out and don't try to be a hero with it, because you'll lose a lot of that extra juice by not having it on the table. There are 4 of them in there. So even if you want to play it for 0 early, you'll get 3 more coming up, or that can help you out later on. We got the Hero's Downfall. So this is 3 more cards that will take out any target creature or planeswalker. So yeah, these right here, the Hero's Downfall, your Bloodchief's Thirst, and your Meathook Massacre generally are your ability to control what's going on. We got the Price of Loyalty. So it costs you 3 mana. Gain control of target creature until the end of turn. This is kind of what this whole deck is about. You untap that creature and it gets haste. If mana from a treasure was spent, then it gets an additional +2/+0 until the end of the turn, which is glorious. Glorious! So hopefully, so far, where we've seen treasure come from? Shambling Ghast. That's pretty much it. Where else? I thought there was 3 points of treasures on here. Nope. Used to be more, but not anymore. All right, we got the Song-Mad Treachery. So there's been various versions of Price of Loyalty in here. Usually it costs 3 to do this, and a lot of times you get an extra effect. In fact, there's I think a 4th one that will create there's one that costs 4 mana that'll actually create a treasure, which is nicely works with Price of Loyalty, right? The problem is that we've only got 22 lands. And I found we had a lot of problems with that choking back the mana that we needed. I mean, when we had a lot of treasure generation, yeah, no big deal. But the problem is that we needed a lot more creature kill. So I had to remove a lot of the treasure generation to put in creature kill spells. As such, I needed more mana. So therefore I have Song-Mad Ruins in, at which point then you could pay 5 in case you don't need the mana to gain control of target creature, untap it, and it gains haste. So those are your 8 cards for grabbing your opponent's creatures temporarily. We got the Goldspan Dragon, just because you can. He's got nothing to do with the rest of the deck, but if you can get up to 5, then you get him out, flying in haste. When you attack with them, you get a treasure token. When he gets targeted by a spell, you get a treasure token. Every treasure token while he is out is worth twice as much in mana. So he will help everything else. This is the oil that keeps everything moving smoothly in this deck. And lastly, we've got 2 Zyatora, the Incinerators. This is green. This technically makes this deck into a Jund deck, but that is the only green mana in the entire deck. There is 0 green mana here at all. So therefore, the only way you can play this guy is by way of treasure. But if you get a Goldspan Dragon or Shambling Ghast, it's not so hard to get at least 1 treasure for the Zyatora, and there's only 2 of them. I'm still considering this to be a Rakdos deck. This guy is a flying 6/6, and even if you don't attack with him at the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, he deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target, and you create 3 treasure tokens. So there's a bunch more treasure tokens coming from right there. So it's really nice is if someone puts out like let's say a Tox roll. It was 7 for damage. And you're like, oh no, it's a Tox roll, right? Then on your turn, you Price of Loyalty him, you grab him for 3, and then Tox roll and Zyatora going for the attacks. You got a 6 and a 7 doing 13 points of damage. And then at the end of the turn, you sacrifice the Tox roll to do 7 points of damage directly to the other guy's place. You just done 20 points of damage. So Zyatora has a fling built right into him over and over and over again. So that is fantastic. So this is the balance we have. Let's take a look at the lands. We've got 2 black man lands, 2 red man lands. We got some fast, regular basic blacks, regular basic reds, some fast dual lands, and some semi-fast dual lands. So these guys are slow, but it's not so bad. Hopefully we can get away with playing this. This is slow. So there's an interesting mix of both fast and slow and semi-slow lands in here. Our count right now, we're at 2.8 average, which isn't too bad. And the number of lands we have is technically 26. So let's take this deck out and see how well it does. All right, playing against Cruice, Fletcher. Lots of names here. 4 mana. Interesting mix here. Let's keep it. Rockside Chef. Oh, we can put out the Shambling Ghast. Shambling Ghast is always the best first turn. Touch the Broken Precious. All right, Den of the Bugbear gets us out of Dockside Chef. And we're done. We're at the 3 mana. 5 gets us to Goldspan. My turn. All right, we're going for the attack. Got our point of blood. I want to play the Meathook Massacre for 0 at this point. Let's do that. Don't want to be tempted for a board wipe. Keeps killing our dudes. It'll help out. Be taken out there. Dockside Chef or Meathook? It's going after the Meathook. All right, and here comes Goldspan Dragon. All attack. Whoop, whoop. I'm down to 17. And he's yet to put out a creature. All right, we have the ability to kill all those creatures that he's not putting out. Body Dropper. Being a devil, I wish the devils had haste. Should always have haste. All right, we got our Den of the Bugbear. Plenty of mana for that, in case we got nothing better to do. This guy's running out of things to do. He's only got 3 cards in his hands. Any tree he puts out will be a 0. And we can start killing ourselves a Renin 7. This sounds even better though. Yoink. 7, I got 10 points of damage. We gotta keep his dude. No matter what, no, I could if I don't kill it this turn. Unfortunately, I don't have enough mana to eat him up. I do have the ability to kill off both of his dudes in 1 turn. All right, he's down to 10. I can deal 3 points of damage. You want to play this trick again? There's plan B. No longer the Den of the Bugbear, just the Den. All right, got him down to 9. Without your Renin 7. He's going off to the Body Dropper. No, he's not. No treasures, unfortunately. But we can eat him when this is all done. What do I get for this? I get life? Excellent. Let's go ahead and pound out another Shambling Ghast. All right, that's your one card, man. Make it good. Yeah, you think that's going to protect you? Here we go. Good game. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha! Victory! All right, we got 3 mana and various other cards. Hoping for the best here. Looks like we're going second, though. Keep it anyway. All right, we've got nothing to play on turn 1, so let's put out the Bugbear. And against dungeon crawlers, huh? All right, number 2 will get us a Ghoulish. I could have played something else, I suppose. Just so excited to put out a multicolored card. All right, looks like we need to be killing a bunch of 1s here in a second. Double black, A1, and go for it. Would have liked to have Ghoulish Procession out, but I also don't like taking 6 or 7 points per turn. Anything else you can do for 2 mana there? All right, there is. So he'll take 3. Let's just go ahead and put the Ghoulish Procession out. And that's not going to do him any good. So we are done. Another mana means another Meathook Massacre for me, which would be super cool. That did not do it. All right, so I can instead just... Well, I can still wipe out 2/3 of it, though. Let's just go after the hard kill at this point. That's what we're looking for. Getting out of a dungeon. He's got some dungeon kind of stuff going on here. All right, so we got 2 guys. Let's... Do I care? Do I care? Do I care? This guy costs 2. Okay, so let's pop out another one of these. Let's pop out this. Blow that guy away. Pop out 2 more zombies. Let's go with what we got. And there's a bunch of skeletons now. All right, so we've got a 3. How much does this guy cost? I have to pay 4 mana for him. I can pay 3. All the skeletons and stuff. Whoa, 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 whoa. My zombies are going to die anyway, so let's just send them in. He's willing to block with those skeletons. All right, this is pretty excellent, actually. Yeah, everything's down to 1 mana, or 1 toughness. Yes, 1. And 2 zombies out of the deal. Dead. Shambling Ghast. If I give myself a treasure token, we can actually put out the Zayatora. That animation really kind of slows things down. Touch the Precious for luck. How's he doing in his dungeon? He's getting close. All attack. Alright, we got him down to 7. Got a couple of bugbears that are itching to come out of their den. Got him down to 5. Alright. I think we got to win next time. Of course, I had to jinx it, didn't I? Here comes the exile. Was he taking out the Shambled Ghast? Nope. Meathook Massacre. You're right, that is doing you a lot of damage, my friend. All right, so this is what's going to kill him right here. Suck it. All attack. Victory! Victory! Our playing against Kangaroo McGee. 3 mana. Keep it. We got technically a 4th right there. A lot of creature kill. Slow. No creature. Hello, I am the body dropper. I am here to drop your bodies. Well, that'll probably be the only creature we ever get. Two can play at this game. Doesn't cost. Oh, what does this thing cost? 3? Okay, we need more mana for that. In turn. I thought it was 2. Yoink. That's a lot of Bloodchief's thirsts. We just got to pin down any creature he puts out for a while. Ren and 7. I will kill your... Ooh, he's going for that. Hmm. All right, I'll just kill it. I love playing the, the grabbing the tree folk and killing their own Ren with it. But it seems like he's got something else in mind. Playing 5 color at this point. Ooh, another Ghoulish Procession. Incredible. And we're done. All right, I think he's got one more mana than me, but technically we are then at the exact same cards out. No Meathook for me, huh? I can't play Zayatora. This is a Rakdos deck. There's plenty of things that put out treasure tokens, yet I am yet to see them. He's got a lot of mana there. Oh, there we go. Here's a treasure troll. All attack. Now we can get to some Zayatora action. You're going to love this. Make it, make it, make it, make it, make it. There we go. Of course, my lands are way less than yours, my friend. Yoink, right there. That's where I want you to put it, right in the kisser. Put another creature. You don't have any creatures, dude. You're toast. Of course, I don't have the ability to do an extra point of damage, at least not at this moment. Oh, I can put out the Dockside Chef. That'll kill him. except for the fact that he will just gain life for the death. Let's pop this guy out. And then we'll put out the Dockside Chef. I don't think it's worth it. Anything I kill is only going to... He's going to gain a life for anything that gets killed on my side. But this should do it. All aboard! You're doing such a good job, Kangaroo McGee. You don't need to be a jerk. Just let this happen. Just sit back. Let it happen. There we go. Good game, my friend. Victory! All right, so here we are with Rakdos Sac. You know, I got to say I've missed this deck. It went out of fashion a little while ago. I think that the good cards for it disappeared. And so I saw, here we are with this deck again. And I just really enjoy playing with cards where you get to take control of your opponent's creatures and then you sacrifice them. You eat them up and you do stuff with that extra damage there. So I'm really happy to have it back. This is what we played with, and let's just analyze it super quick. So what was the star? What was the star here? And I mean, to me, obviously, it was, really was Song-Mad Treachery. This is what made this deck work so much better for me. Because the big problem is that there was a lot in like the original version of this deck that I got off Aether Hub or something. There was 22 lands, and there's still, like, how many lands are we really dealing with here? 22, right? But by putting in the Song-Mad Treachery, sure, it cost me a little bit extra to be able to do what we needed to do, but I got to have 4 additional lands, which really made it to where the lands were not the problem that they were before. And that allowed me to have decent lands as well as being able to do the gain control of target creature effect. Enough. We have 4 there, we have 4 here. That's really enough. I say Zyatora in this deck is incredibly fun. Because one of the things I dislike about Zyatora is that you have to sacrifice, your own creatures to be able to use the effect there, right? And in this case, when you're taking somebody else's creature and you can just throw that creature right back into their face after attacking them with it, that is so good. The Body Dropper, he has a lot of potential, but he starts off so weak. And the problem is that he gets killed easily. So, he costs 2. The other guy costs 2 is the Dwarf. The Dwarf gives you, pays 2, sacrificing the creature, and you get 2 cards and treasure. This guy just gives you a +1 counter. So, I put the Body Dropper in there because I really wanted to work with him. You have to ask yourself, is card draw better? And it probably is. The thing is that Body Dropper will get +1 counters on himself, making him stronger with every death. I was really hoping that we would see more advantage there. The problem is that, he's too easy of a target, and he gets taken out. Price of Loyalty, it's nice when we have a bunch of treasure going on. We got the treasures coming from the Goldspan Dragons. Dockside Chief, I left Chef. I put him in there because he was the cheaper of the 2. And Shambling Ghast creates treasures. Yeah, I'm thinking we got to put that Dwarf back in rather than the Body Dropper. It's so boring seeing that guy yet again. Ghoulish Procession was a fantastic ad because one of the problems is sometimes you just sort of run out of creatures, and this it leads to sacrifice. You want it like even to the Body Dropper or something, right? And this will keep giving you creatures. I like how they're all like zombies. Looks like there's an Abraham Lincoln zombie there, and there's one like sheet ghost with a hat on. That's cool. So yeah. I think this turned out fairly well. I think I might be able to tune it up better, but I spent a lot of time tuning it up to where it's at right now. So let's just give it a rating then. Is it competitive? No, I mean, you're not going to climb the ladder with this, but it is a deck that does have some wins to it. This version of it has a 50-50 win rate at the moment. So that's where we're at, 50-50, right? And that's only for 6 games. Let's see. Secondly, was it fun? Yes. Yeah. My big problem is I just feel like the early game is, I mean, it's half the deck. So there's enough. It just feels like you're not doing anything through the early part of the game. So you just got to get over that, because once you get into the last half of the game where you start playing 3s and 5s, then things are much, much better. Zaitora might be a little much for this deck. I mean, it's in here, but it costs 6. And it just seems so hard to get to with the mana the way that it is on this deck. It was definitely much easier in the early version of this deck, which was so much more focused on treasure that it didn't matter. And you could get to it definitely by turn 5. But on the other hand, it was just so hard to do to have control. It seemed like everybody else was just loading up their decks like crazy, and we couldn't do anything to bleed it off. So, yeah, it's a little bit harder to get to Zaitora. So I think this deck is not quite there, but still it's doing pretty good. Let's see. So I talked about fun, yes. And lastly, is there a theme? No. I mean, we got Demon Dragons, and Devil Warriors. And then you got some dudes that hang out on a deck someplace. I don't know. It's starting to get kind of themey. If you like demons and dragons hanging out together. So yeah, not super themey. So I'm not going to give it high marks for a theme at all. So what are we going to rate this deck? I don't think it's competitive, or at least super competitive, but it does win. It is sort of fun. Not very themey. I'm giving it a B+ for right now. I think we can work this thing up into the A- category with just a little bit more tweaking somehow. Not exactly sure where, but we'll give it a break, come back to it later on. So if you end up playing with this deck, I hope that you had as much fun with it as I did. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, don't let the door hit ya where the good Lord split ya. See ya.